this video, we will talk about trauma bonding with a narcissist, what it looks like, and most importantly, how to deal with it. Trauma bonding is a multifaceted, insidious concept, a psychological trap catalyzed by emotional abuse and manipulation. It is a debilitating tether that keeps those suffering in cycles of harm and false affection, a malignant beast that feeds on our human desire for love, connection, and understanding. Imagine being on a violent emotional rollercoaster, where moments of belittlement and cruelty intertwine with periods of intense affection and promises of change. This is the toxic dance between the narcissist or psychopath and their victim, choreographed with calculated precision. Sadly, patterns of intermittent reinforcement, where abuse and kindness alternate unpredictably, are at the core of the trauma bond. The concept of trauma bonding originates in our primal survival instincts and our deeply rooted social impulses. When subjected to alternating cycles of pain and kindness, the human mind attempts to rationalize and justify such tumultuous experiences. This typically manifests in minimizing or outright denying the severity of abuse and overemphasizing episodes of kindness. In doing so, a trauma bond is formed, a damaging attachment that makes leaving an abusive relationship perilously difficult. Like a nocturnal predator lurking in the dark, trauma bonding slinks into our lives unnoticed. The pervasive effects of trauma bonding might be difficult to spot and even harder to confront. This makes the phenomenon exceptionally dangerous, blurring the line between affection and manipulation, love and fear, hope and despair. In the warped reality painted by the narcissist or psychopath, the victim becomes ensnared in a confusing and often contradictory web of emotions. The emotional manipulation used to forge the trauma bond is meticulously crafted to hook the victim into a cycle of dependency. This emotional dependency on the abuser operates like an addiction. The victim, trapped within the relentless oscillation between agony and elation, craves the relief that follows the exploiter's kindness, the euphoria after the storm. And so, this puts in place a deeply rooted affinity for their tormentor, mirroring the symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome, where hostages paradoxically develop a bond with their captors. Yet, it's more than just an instinctual drive to survive that fuels trauma bonding. The bond also plays on our inherent desire for connection and acceptance, turning our basic human needs against us. Warm words of love and snapshots of care are strategically interweaved with mind games and harmful actions, shattering self-esteem and twisting perceptions. Similarly, abusers often amplify their victims' guilt and shame, further entrenching the trauma bond. In this manipulation masterpiece, the victim is often made to feel responsible for the abuser's actions. This fosters a heightened sense of obligation and loyalty towards the abuser, thereby fortifying the bond. Over time, the victim starts to believe, perhaps even willingly offers, that they must earn the love and respect that is rightfully theirs. It is upon this painstakingly cultivated mental terrain of doubt, guilt, and desperate hope that the abuser sows the seeds of the trauma bond. These seeds tap into the very core of our vulnerabilities, our need for love, acceptance, and self-validation. They exploit our capacity for empathy and patience, contorting these virtues into chains that keep us bound to our abusers. Trauma bonding, therefore, exposes the deepest chambers of our hearts to constant hurt, creating a cycle of emotional torment. The victim walks on a tightrope, ricocheting between a gut-wrenching sense of dread and a sliver of hope. Their every step, every decision, is manipulated by the cold, calculating hand of their abuser. To overcome trauma bonding, one must first recognize its existence. These bonds are insidious, often masquerading as love, loyalty, or duty. If you find yourself constantly justifying hurtful actions or trapped in a cycle of pain and reconciliation, you might be entangled. But recognition alone is not enough. It's crucial to surround yourself with those who see your worth, who remind you that true love doesn't wound the soul. These allies, whether they are friends, therapists, or support groups, offer a sanctuary, a place where wounds can heal and strength can flourish. Equipping yourself with knowledge becomes vital. Understanding the mechanics, the intermittent rewards, the induced fear, the manipulation, demystifies the bond's power. Dive into literature, attend workshops, and converse with experts. The more you comprehend, the better equipped you are to dismantle it. Yet, while knowledge is essential, so is the rediscovery of one's essence. Trauma bonds often blur identities, casting shadows over personal aspirations. Therefore, it's imperative to reconnect with who you are. What makes you feel alive? What ignites passion within you? These connections to your inner self serve as beacons, guiding you through the storm. Perhaps, most importantly, consistent self-compassion becomes the cornerstone of healing. Guilt, shame, and self-blame are relentless companions of trauma bonds. However, these emotions, as powerful as they might seem, are not yours to bear. Embrace kindness towards yourself. Celebrate each step forward, even if they're baby steps, because progress is progress. Emerging from trauma bonding's grasp is undeniably challenging. It demands courage, determination, and unwavering belief in one's worth. But remember, on the journey's other side lies a life of freedom, self-love, and genuine connections. The bonds may be tough, but they aren't eternal. With each passing day, with each healing breath, you possess the power to reclaim your narrative, reshaping it not into a tale of victimhood but one of triumphant resurgence. If you're thinking you're trauma bonding with a narcissist, check the link in the description to get some help. We recommend the video on how to recognize a narcissist next.